been a park ranger in western Montana for over 8 years. In that time, I've seen my fair share of strange things. Missing hikers showing up miles away with no memory, distant howls that didn't sound like a familiar animal, and shadows that moved just out of sight. But nothing compares to what happened near Devil's Hollow last September. It began with a normal call from the main station. A group of campers packed up and left their site early that morning. Around 2 a.m., one woman said she heard someone say her name. Someone else said she saw a man in the woods yelling and running behind trees, but they never saw his face. Devil's Hollow has always been known for its eeriness. Many locals believe it to be cursed. There are many old stories about ritualistic sacrifices and evil spirits lurking there, but I never really paid attention to them. Most of it sounded like made-up stories told around a campfire to scare tourists. So, when I got to know about the campers, I figured I'd check it out. It took me an hour to reach Devil's Hollow. It's a low-lying stretch of woods surrounded by thick pine. I patrolled it dozens of times and could walk it blindfolded. Things were not the same that day, though. On the right, about 20 feet from the main road, I saw a narrow path I had never seen before. It went off into the trees and was overgrown, but had footprints on the grass. It looked like someone had walked on it that morning. I looked at the map one more time, and there was no trail there. It was strange not having it mentioned on the map. It might have been an old game trail or a path that a hunter had used. I decided to follow it for a bit. Right from the start, it felt off. The air suddenly got colder, heavier. The trees grew denser, like they were closing in, and it was too quiet. Not just normal forest quiet, dead silent. No wind, no birds, just the sound of my boots and breathing. Then I started noticing carvings on the trees, tally marks, groups of 5 scratched into the bark at shoulder height. Some trees had dozens. It looked deliberate, like someone was counting something, and then stopped all of a sudden. About 20 minutes in, I started hearing footsteps. At first, I thought it was just an echo, my own steps bouncing off the trees. But then, I realized it was slightly off, just a beat behind mine. When I stopped, the footsteps stopped too. When I moved, it began following again. I looked back a few times, checking the tree line, but saw nothing. I tried the radio, and only static was heard. I was thinking about heading back when I found this old camper van, half sunken into the earth and covered in moss. It looked like it had been there for years, but there was no reason for it to be out here. It wasn't on any record, and no one can just abandon vehicles in the woods. As I went in, I saw a man curled up on a dirty mattress inside of it. He was sickly and thin. His skin was filled with rashes. I thought he was dead at first, then his eyes popped open and he quickly sat up. He gasped, seeing me. "You found me! You can see me?" I stood dumbfounded. Why wouldn't I see him? He was dressed in a worn-out, torn park ranger outfit. His tag was hard to read. I recognized his name, though. He worked as a guard, someone who wasn't seen or heard from in 6 months. Everyone thought he got lost on a snow patrol. For weeks, search teams looked. They didn't find anything. There were no tracks, gear, or even boot prints. I helped him get down. He was so weak that he could hardly stand. His face showed both fear and happiness at the same time. "I couldn't find the way back. Every time I tried, the forest moved. Trails led nowhere. I thought I was dead." We started walking back together. He leaned on me the whole way, stumbling. We were heading back when a faint, whispering voice echoed from the trees. We both froze. Silence lingered for a few seconds. Then the voice was heard again. "Please, help me." I turned, aiming the flashlight into the fog. The man grabbed my arm hard. "Don't answer him. They're not real. It mimics people. It pretends." "What do you mean?" "I don't know, but it's in the forest. It watches, and it..." But before he could finish his sentence, his body started shaking violently. He fell to the ground, coughing. Blood poured from his mouth. I backed up, yelling, What's happening to you? Oh my God! His back arched, and then his head twisted around completely, backward. His face was still looking at me. He stood like that for a few seconds, then collapsed on the ground. He wasn't moving anymore. I radioed for help again. This time, the signal cut through. Rescue arrived an hour later. They took his body. He was declared dead on the scene. No visible wounds, no cause of death identified. When I gave his name, the officer looked stunned. I told them about the trail, about the truck. They sent a search team. On return, they said they couldn't find any trail. They chalked it up, saying I found a dying drifter, and my mind filled in the rest. But I know what I saw. I know who that man was. Locals say the forest near Devil's Hollow is cursed. That something in those woods builds false paths, makes voices, pulls people in, and once they realize they're trapped, it won't let them leave. I don't patrol that area anymore, and ever since that night, I keep hearing a voice outside my cabin, just past the tree line. Every few nights, it screams for help, but I never open the door.